Hi, and a good day to all of you. Lecture 3 is on the invasion routes of animal species. Animals have the intrinsic ability to move or disperse from place to place. In biological terms, dispersal refers to the movement of an animal from place of birth to breeding place. Dispersion is the pattern of spatial distribution of individuals produced as a result of dispersal. Distribution is the geographic area occupied by a species or population of species. Species with a wide range of distribution are necessarily abundant than those with a narrow range, which are rare. Environmental factors, population density, and type of mating system affect natural dispersal of animals. There are a number of reasons why animals disperse. To avoid competition for mates, to avoid inbreeding, to avoid competition for resources, to avoid competition with parent and siblings, to colonize new habitats, and to avoid pathogens and predators. It is important to note, and you can relate to this as an animal, that dispersal can be costly. Thus, the cost should not exceed the benefits. Dispersal of an individual has consequences not only for individual fitness, but also for population dynamics and genetics and species distributions. At the population level, dispersal can have both beneficial and detrimental effects on persistence of spatially structured systems. Figure 1a here shows the evolutionary causes of dispersal. Dispersal affects population dynamics, which affects fitness. Variation in fitness, in turn, creates the opportunity for selection, resulting in evolution of dispersal strategies. Figure 1b, on the other hand, shows the ecological causes of dispersal. The population size, mediated by the environment, determines the interactions between individuals, both kin and non-kin, for resources. Access to resources affects the life history, such as survival, fecundity, etc., of individuals, and their propensities to disperse. Dispersal, in turn, affects the population dynamics. Dispersal is critical to the establishment and persistence of invasive alien species. These are products of anthropogenic or aided introduction, especially of domesticated and selected species, releases into the wild of game animals, or escapees of pets. We will look into the pathways or routes of introduction through release, escape, contaminant, stowaway, corridor, and unaided pathway. This shows a simplified framework to categorize pathways of initial introduction of alien species into a new region. Alien species may, as a direct or indirect result of human activity, arrive and enter into a new region through three broad mechanisms: the importation of a commodity, the arrival of a transport vector, and/or natural spread from a neighboring region where the species is itself alien. 5 pathways are associated with human activity, either as commodities, contaminants of commodities, stowaways on modes of transport, and opportunists exploiting corridors resulting from transport infrastructures. The 6th category highlights alien species that may arrive unaided in a region as a result of natural spread, rather than human transport, following a primary human-mediated introduction in a neighboring region. For each pathway, a brief description is presented with examples. The different regulatory approaches for each pathway are also illustrated, but we will discuss this much later. On the left side is a gradient of human intention. Unintentional introduction results from animals attaching to or entering transport vectors such as vehicles, ships, and planes, in waterways and shipping as cargo, hull, or in ballast water, through transported plant material, and as escapees from enclosed facilities. Intentional introductions have been done for human nutrition. For example, for farming, as game animals, in aquaculture and mariculture. It has resulted in the global distribution of domesticated animals, release of mammals and birds for game hunting, and release of fish. Intentional introductions have also been done for species serving as biological control agents. This may be vertebrates or invertebrates. Intentional introductions have also been done for ornamental fish and for various pet species. For your learning activity, you are going to answer the question, what are the roots of invasive animal species in the Philippines? Name 5 invertebrate and vertebrate IAS in the Philippines. You may choose from your list from Activity 1 or make a new list. It's your choice. Then, identify the route or pathway of introduction here in the Philippines and complete all the other information asked for in the table. So please refer to your study guide for more details. For next week, we will have a Zoom meeting. That's on March 23rd. Not at 7 a.m., but at 8 a.m. I will send the Zoom link to you next week, Monday, via email. The lecture will still be recorded, so our Zoom meeting is not for a lecture discussion, but rather for us to get to know each other and to discuss one of your requirements, your term paper in particular, and also to answer some of the questions you may have. Okay? So have a productive week ahead and see you next week. And don't forget, keep safe because the COVID-19 cases are on the rise again.